Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here or any Watchbox platform. Regardless, reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing a Baselworld 2017 launch, the latest in a line dating back to the early 1990s, Calatrava 5000. This is the Patek Philippe Calatrava 6006G, a timepiece 39 millimeters in white gold that's different in almost every way from every other Calatrava. It's a timepiece with a distinctive look and a bit of a cult following. So the timepiece is 39 millimeters in diameter by 9.1 millimeters thick, from lug to lug 47.5 millimeters with a broad 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Throwing it on my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see the lugs really define the external profile of this watch, as they are extraordinarily straight, strong, and massive. The watch has a lot of presence, given that it isn't terribly large, nor is it terribly broad across the wrist, and you can really see that to good effect here, where I have plenty of clearance on either side of my wrist. I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. Just remember, while the fit is going to be ideal, the look is going to be more massive than the watch really is, and that's just down to the visual strength of these lugs, which again are unlike any other Calatrava. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, you can see this is a Patek factory strap in outstanding condition, and it has calfskin on the bottom. It has medium rectangular scale alligator leather, high gloss on the top with a monotone stitch, and as you can see, a folded edge. It also includes pull-tab spring bars, so you can quickly remove the strap without tools, just your fingernail. And then there's a matching white gold Calatrava Cross single-fold deployant clasp. So that's your insurance against accidentally dropping this thing while you're putting it on by your bedside or taking it off. The case is simple. This is where the watch really begins to pull away from the other Calatravas, which tend to have much more delicate tapered lugs. The lugs maintain almost their entire thickness or cross-section right out to their tip, and as you can see, there's a gentle arc from the mid-case down to the ends, and they're also rounded at their tip, but only when viewed from overhead. This is a remarkably strong case flank, and as you can see, there's also a hard junction between the domed bezel profile and the mid-case, which is almost vertical. The lug hoods are relatively spare, given their incredible cross-section when viewed from the side, and then the Calatrava Cross crown is conventional. The bezel is shallow and domed, giving way to a dial that is black and arrayed in a mostly radial fashion. It looks, and has long looked, like a dashboard instrument from a vintage sports car, and that has always been the guiding notion behind these dials. There's more going on though. We have an off-centered small seconds, we have a piano key track inboard for reading the minutes and the hours, and then we have a mini piano key track for reading the seconds. There's a radial date indicator and a pusher adjuster on the case flank for adjusting that radial date. Nothing about this watch is standardized, right down to the red varnished tip of the radial date indicator and the skeletonized and white lacquered hands for the hours and the minutes. Now you turn this watch over and you can see another distinction. Whereas conventional Calatravas generally are going to be manual wind caliber 215s or powered by the 324 center rotor automatic, this series has always used the caliber 240 micro rotor automatic, which is Patek's flagship automatic. It uses a ceramic bearing borne 22 karat micro rotor winding mass to energize a 38 to 48 hour power reserve. And the benefit here is that you can see the entirety of the mechanism. Nothing is blocked by a rotor or a winding bridge. Moreover, you have a movement that can be as thin as a manual wind with the convenience of an automatic. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It's adjusted in 6 positions and free sprung with Patek Philippe's free sprung Gyromax architecture for toughness and precise adjustment. It also uses an anti-magnetic silicon Spiromax hairspring, another Patek Philippe proprietary development. It pivots on 27 jewels, and as you can see, it's protected underneath a screwed-in caseback, so more water-resistant than a standard Calatrava in practice. Its rating is the same 30 meters. I wouldn't push the limits here, but the finish is outstanding. As you can see, the mirrored anglage on the edge of every bridge. There's a large amount of engine turning in 2 different sizes or gauges on the base plate. You can see the Côte de Genève are deeply ridged with a sharp gradient from side to side, dark to light, and then perfectly aligned across the bridges. The screw heads are all black polished with chamfered slots in circumference, and then all of the wheels, including the ratchet wheel atop the barrel, feature satination over their surfaces. It is a beautifully finished movement, technically competent and artistically adept. A timepiece of extraordinarily rare beauty. It is the standout in the Calatrava line, the one that is most unlike the others. Like I said, this is the definition of a Colt watch. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Patek 6006G.